You guys knew the challenges that we went through tonight to make this miracle happen.
Just so everybody knows, and then I'm just going to throw this out there. Max has got probably, $250,000 worth of sound equipment he's working with. I have this wire that I picked up for $1.50 over at the 7-Eleven, and I have had no problem at all. Just saying. That's it.
Yeah, I've actually got a technical crew here. I've got.
I got me and this.
and your shit's been working fine the whole time.
It's never been a problem.
Yeah, my
keep it simple,
apparently.
kids.
Yeah.
Keep it.
Hey, cheers, brother Brian. Good to see you,
Cheers.
my friend. Everybody out there in Facebook land, welcome back to Coast Cocktails with Max and Bryan.
Woo.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
COVID-free both weeks.
Yes, absolutely.
Although, I'm not going to lie to you, I've got my Lysol ready to mainline right into my vein. So, bring it on. I'm ready to go.
I got something better than that.
Do you now?
I got a little of this.
Hey, listen.
Here.
I couldn't tell you if there's a soul watching. Oh, Connie Lavenbarg joined us. Jan also joined us.
Who did?
Jan,
my sister from another mister.
So, Connie,
love you,
so
Jan.
glad. Yeah, love you guys. Thank you for joining us. And Brian,
looks like the Tiki Bar is open.
The Tiki Bar is open.
The Tiki Bar is open.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know this right now. You
I think I'm gonna get over there.
But I got a blender.
That's the one thing I don't have down here in the saloon.
Oh, you need to take care of this right now. I'm actually fixing us up a nice round of pina coladas. I like them.
Are you drinking poo-poo drinks? You're not drinking...
Hey, the Tiki Bar's open, my friend.
There you go. I don't even have a bottle of rum in here yet.
Oh, well, listen, you're missing out. I just poured in the pineapple juice. And here goes the Sailor Jerry's, everybody.
Well, there you go.
Bear with me. I'm eyeballing this, so Lord knows how this is going to come out. My wife tells me I have a heavy pour.
Well, you're an elk.
A card-carrying crowd.
Is there any other kind of pour?
No, there's really not. And I'm going to turn down the music just a little bit so you can enjoy this.
Good grief.
You ready? Tell me if you can hear this.
Yes, I can hear that.
So
it sounds. I'm getting all kinds of little messages here. What is this?
God, how? And I'm drinking it in my Trader Vic's. There it is, my Trader Vic's tiki mug.
I'm outclassed. I don't know what to say.
One day you two can join the likes of me. I'd like to send out a toast, coast to coast, to my dear brother Brian Burns. Thank you for enjoying this nonsense with me one more time again this week. Christy Rye's online. Brittany Penfold's online.
Hey, Britt.
Music's too loud, apparently. That's Jimmy Buffett. Oh, you know what?
Yes.
Goes great with pina coladas.
What's that? Well, of course. No, that's margaritas, dumbass.
Does this take you back to the Jimmy Buffett happy half hour we'd have in the middle of our dance hall days?
Yes.
Boy, people would show up at our place to do some line dancing and have a good time and take a lady around the dance floor. And Brian and I would shut the entire dance down for half an hour to play nothing but Jimmy Buffett music and drink beer.
That's true. And they enjoyed it after the first time they tried to hang us.
Oh. Dumbass.
But, Max, if Mr. Buffett's out there with nothing else to do, because where else is he going to be?
Yeah, Jimmy,
bring us up.
I've got a special bat phone number for you, Jimmy. Please don't be shy.
Yeah. Jump in, the water's fine.
Water is good, and boy, I remember that Jimmy Buffett happy half hour. That was the best half hour of the whole night.
That really was. That was a lot of fun.
Skylar Udo's online. Welcome, Skylar. Welcome, Narissa. Neighbor Narissa's online.
Well, good grief.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
We've got upwards of 5 people.
Dave
hanging out with us
Scallione
tonight.
said he was going to
I
jump
saw
in at
that,
some point.
and I also sent out an invite to Gene Merle. I was going to give him the bat phone number.
Oh,
and,
good.
He would have been able to call in. I can actually take a call in, and you and I could field questions from the listening audience.
Well,
How great is that?
That's fantastic. If anybody has any questions they want to ask, please. I can't see anything. I can't.
And we're
can't
trying
see.
to fix that. I'm not going to lie to you, and you'll see this later, but it turns out my foo-foo drink does not have nearly enough rum in it.
Go figure.
It needed,
what are the odds?
It needed a floater of rum. So, ladies
And
and
who
gentlemen,
can argue with that?
welcome to the Max and Bryan Happy Half Hour. We're going to run through this pretty quick. Well, I got so much stuff going on. Hey, Brian, how
You really
are you?
do.
You're gonna look at this and, God, how old am I? I wear trifocals, just so you know. So those
I
who
don't.
watch,
I only have the progressives.
I've got the trifocal. So if you see me kind of looking down my nose at you, it's not that I'm looking down my nose at you. It's that I gotta use the other.
You know what's even better than that, Max?
Huh?
I can't see you at all.
Actually, a lot of people would say that's a gift.
Well, I've been looking at that mug for 30 plus years. You kind of get used to it.
Were you with me when we got these Trader Vic's tiki mugs?
Was I?
Yeah.
No.
Remember when we
Where'd you
built
get-
the tiki room?
Oh yeah, I remember that very well.
The tiki. I keep looking at the photo of us, and I'm not looking at the camera apparently. But Brian and I, when we first moved into the house here, the Garden Grove Castle, right? I charged some friends with building a tiki room in our backyard, and it's a fortress and a masterpiece. And
really
every year
is.
it gets updated. And God, for a while there, I was all things tiki all day, every day.
Yeah, it's impressive. It really is impressive.
And it's I love me the tiki room, and I love spending some time out there. But Brian, in his efforts to help build the tiki room, I had a bunch of guys over that came over and actually.
I know where you're going with this, and wasn't the tiki.
Well, it also happened with the dog run. So
that was the dog run. But it did happen at the tiki bar too. I'll admit.
So Brian shows up, and he did this with he promised, I'm going to help you build a dog run. And he shows up with a 12-pack of beer. And you guys know we're live on the air, right? You guys know.
So you need your own underground lair, like I.
Yeah, I need my own underground
Right?
lair right now. I need my own bat cave. That's what I
Yeah,
need.
there you go.
My own bat cave. But so Brian shows up with a couple other guys to help build the dog run, and there's a different crew to build the tiki room. But Brian always managed to show up with at least a 12-pack of beer, which he would immediately set down, call my wife over, and the two of them would drink beer while men did men's work.
Here's the thing. You had the labor. You had no management. Christy and I fulfilled what we saw as an empty blank space in the chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
You had enough weak minds and strong backs. You
Sure.
needed somebody to keep you guys in line. And it just so happened that we could drink beer and do it at the same time.
Yeah. In all fairness, that's Sam in the background. Sam, say hey to Facebook. That's Sam, everybody.
Hi, Sam.
Sam's,
I can't see Sam.
Sam's my middle son, Austin's very lovely girlfriend, and she's hanging out today with her dog, Kaiju. Kaiju the dog.
I think I ordered that at Benihana's one. I'm kind of upset that I did.
That's the whole reason this pandemic occurred. Some jackass ordered some Kaiju.
No, that was the
at
Batsu. That was the Batsu, not
damn
the. Yeah, that's different.
That's Austin, everybody. Hey, Austin.
That's my godson.
Yeah, and that's Kaiju right there.
Hi, Kaiju.
Welcome. Cheers to Kaiju.
Domo arigato there, amigo.
I'm moving back over to beer. Goes down smoother.
No, don't switch horses.
Oh, listen.
If you're on the rum, stay on the rum.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I plan on traveling not only from Jamaica, but in a little while I'm going to travel to Ireland.
Well, I haven't gone exotic. I went to Kentucky.
Well, listen.
And I went to Denver.
Men are men and sheep are scared. So
exactly right.
Well,
no offense to anybody from Kentucky you make wonderful bourbon.
Wonderful and listen, it's a lot like getting stuck in Norco. So
don't be trashing Norco. Norco is very good. Who
doesn't love Norco?
I love Norco.
Not the drug, the place.
No, Norco is the Beverly Hills of the Inland Empire. I mean, seriously.
You always know when you're driving through Norco because it smells like Norco.
You know, after you've spent, president of that club for over 20 years, you just don't notice it anymore. The flies, you notice. Yeah, the flies. Holy crap. They'll pick you up and move you from spot to spot. But the smell? Nah.
Yeah. Hey, so we talked about having a little structure to the show.
Well, yeah, we've been talking about that for 30 years. So, yeah, where are you going to go with this? You know what? If I sit right here, does it look like I have a halo?
A little bit, actually. A little bit. Looks like you're not dead, are you?
No.
Oh,
no,
good.
I'm not. Whoa. I'm not. I haven't gone teats up yet.
I had a dream this past week that woke me out of a deep, deep sleep.
Really?
And I apparently, according to my wife, I screamed out loud while I was having this dream.
Really?
And it was bone chilling. My wife thought I was having a heart attack and was dying because of the way that I screamed in this dream.
And what were you screaming about? I
was screaming about that we started our broadcast here, and we had technical difficulties, and we couldn't get on the air.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, because I had a very odd dream this week, too.
Did you know?
I don't think I woke up screaming. Very odd. I ate a 9-pound marshmallow. I woke up, my pillow was gone.
I really saw that go in a different direction.
It might be the bourbon talking, but I thought that was funny. So I'll go back to the beer for a minute.
Please, yeah. Listen, you know what's going to really pump up our viewership, and you're going to look at this later, and you're going to be like, damn, there's all these hot chicks in the background behind Max, and you're going to be like, wow, if that doesn't up our viewership and our credibility on the...
If you can get them in, like, bikinis or something,
listen, Sam is wearing a lovely... Hi, Sam. We're just talking about how you're going to boost our viewership. Thank you so much.
I can see... You realize I can see nothing. I have no point of reference on this, right?
Envision two super hot chicks sitting behind me. Remember how it was last week? Now tonight there's there's my wife.
Last week either.
My wife's acting like she's on a trampoline right now, and she's jumping up and down. And the problem is she's wearing a bra. So if she wasn't wearing a bra, it'd be a much more interesting image. Imagine your wife behind you, jumping up and down like she's on a trampoline, but with no bra on. How great would that
concussion?
Be? Two black eyes. Oh,
that's the whole lot of shaking going on right there. I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong.
No, listen. If she walked into the police department after that, they'd arrest you. They'd figure you were beating the woman.
Oh yeah, and would you like to be the cop taking that report? So what happened? Well, it happened like this.
There's Sam again. Listen, because Austin's showing off his. Wow.
I don't really need to
You're going to watch this back and you're going to be like, wow. You're going to think, man, Austin truly is his father's son. So when you watch this back, I want you to remember this moment right now and think, yep, that boy is truly his father's son.
Hang on, let me write this.
Yeah, and at 15 minutes and 0 seconds, Austin shows off. Well, listen, I'm sure the ladies loved it. And, yeah.
You realize all I see is a pulsing picture of your head. And I mean that in the nicest way. That's all I see.
Well,
I see a black screen and this thing pulses with half your face like this and a pair of like grandpa sunglasses on.
Well, if you could figure out how to work the goddamn Skypes, this wouldn't be an issue.
I'm not the one who struggled for 55 minutes trying to get us on air. I was ready to go.
I didn't struggle. I was drinking beer. It was Alec, my technical advisor, that was having the problem.
Sure, throw him under the bus. I was sitting here ready to go. My whole $1.50 cord, cell phone. And
your duct tape. God, I wish I could see a picture of what. So, folks, last week, if you weren't with us, Brian had an issue. He Southern American engineered his phone to stand up for this broadcast, and he it kept falling over. And if you watch last week's, go back and watch last week's show, and you're going to see that every time Brian's phone, when you watch this back, my wife's behind me shaking her ass, and it turns out, everybody, she's not doing that for shock value or for anything else. A dog peed on the floor, and she's stomping on it to try and get the pee up out of the carpet. So you're going to be looking at this. Yeah, you're going to be looking at this going, damn, who's the hot chick bouncing up and down like she's on a trampoline?
She's stomping on the dog pee on the floor, and I'm the redneck.
Well, you're the redneck that used electric tape last week, and this week went and bought himself some duct tape finally.
Yeah, hang on. Hold on.
God. Who else has joined us? Connie's here, Brittany, Narissa, a lot of chicks joining the show.
I'm actually invested in this now.
Are you?
Because I laid out at least $3 for the handyman's best friend.
Mm-hmm. Listen, if you can't fix it,
duck it.
Yep. Hey, so a couple weeks ago, we lost the great Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, and I'm not, I was never a big fan.
I saw Kenny Rogers in high school as a senior. I was dating a girl who Kenny Rogers was coming to town, and it was Kenny and Dolly on tour in the round at the Tucson Convention Center. And who the hell was Kenny Rogers? I didn't know Kenny Rogers. I was listening to Leonard Skinner and Iron Maiden at the time. And,
I mean, he was a little before your time before he hit it big with this song.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you're pretty good. Who doesn't know this song?
Yeah, because they played the crap out of it for like 18 years.
And this made it on, it wasn't just country radio. This was pop music.
Oh, it was a big crossover. They even made movies about it.
Yeah. And he was a card dealer in one of those movies, I think. Or did he play the gambler?
He was the gambler. And they were kind of crappy movies. I mean,
they're made for TV.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you a funny story about Kenny Rogers. He used to call me.
Did he now?
Yeah, and he I'll never forget what he used to say. It was awfully funny because I thought he was wrong. I know he's wrong. But he used to say, Max is holding you back.
Oh, did he say that?
No. And I'd hang up on him.
Well, listen.
And I'd say, who needs you? I mean, Kenny, go back to your broasters and leave me alone.
Kenny and I had a run-in. And,
I heard. Not pretty.
Listen, I was forced to lay him out. And,
yeah.
He looked like your wife after jumping on a trampoline with no bra. So.
Oh, please let her not get a hold of this.
Hey, Dee Dee, I love you. Brian put me up to all of that. Brian told me to say those things.
Right. I even shaved today for this.
I shaved for this too.
Yeah, isn't that something?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yep.
So yeah,
I was a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought, hold on, because I'm in the middle of a Kenny Rogers frenzy.
Why would you do that?
Well, we're saluting Kenny Rogers. If we were really having a great Kenny Rogers salute, we'd be eating some chicken.
Right? From the broaster.
Right? How great is broasted chicken? Have you ever had broasted chicken?
Are you kidding? Larry's broasted chicken. You had it at my house a dozen times, if not more.
We had a
Don't
place
you remember we used to go down to Larry's Roasted Chicken down next to the Hilltop Liquor? and get a great big. You don't remember this? Well, probably not. That
was I drinking it? I was probably drinking it.
We probably had, but no, it was the best roasted chicken I ever had in my life.
We have a place up here in Los Alamitos that Pittsburgh's roasted chicken, and they make a hell of a roasted chicken. And they make this little. You get a cup of ranch dressing that they top off with Tabasco sauce.
Ooh.
And so you peel off your chicken off the breast and you dunk it into this ranch with the Tabasco. Oh, that's gooder than hell right there. That's
You know, since we moved here, I've been looking for a place that's got like the spicy chicken, fried chicken, the spicy Louisiana kind of Kentucky hot chicken.
Well, you know your problem.
Ah,
you're not in Kentucky.
Well, I'm very close to Kentucky. We're not very far from Kentucky at all.
Yeah.
We're just right over the Appalachians. The Appalachians. Or as we call it here in Virginia, them hills over there.
I was waiting for your, you picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. Yeah, truly not a huge Kenny Rogers guy, but you got to give him, a little something.
Well, yeah, I just never... I don't know. There's something about there's just something about him. I just didn't. I mean, rest his soul, great entertainer, I guess, but he's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
You know.
But a hell of a chicken maker.
I like the guys a little bit more edge to him. Waylon.
Oh, absolutely.
Dash.
Yeah.
I mean, guys that had that razor edge, and Kenny just kind of was like what you hear at the mall.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this guy?
This is one of the best. This was a huge loss.
I never would have known about this guy if it hadn't been for you.
I love him.
Ticket to the land of the tall palm trees. Hello, Milwaukee. Hello, Waikiki.
I just stepped down from the airplane when I heard her say,
Wacka-nooka-nooka, wacka-nacka-nooka, would you like a lay?
Oh,
let's talk dirty in Hawaiian. Whisper in my ear. Hika-puka-mucka-wawahini. All the words I long to hear. It's like a sing-along.
Lay your coconuts on my tiki. What the heck a mucka-mucka dear?
Let's talk dirty in Hawaiian.
Say the words I long to hear.
How great was John Prine?
He was one of the greatest, and it's. I think it's kind of sad that more people don't know about him. And,
he's one of those guys when you dive into the music, and if you really into music, you get a sense of what a great American songwriter he was.
Probably one of the greatest lyricists I've ever. He could make you think and make you laugh and make you cry and make you feel things in a lyric of his songs that 95% of the other guys just only wish they could do.
Yeah.
And what a national treasure. And I think between him and Steve Goodman, who wrote City of New Orleans and You Never Even Call Me by My Name. And,
now, I'm not going to lie to you, City of New Orleans is not one of my faves.
It's Americana. I mean, it's. I thought it was a brilliant song, and I think that between Steve Goodman and John Prine, those are two of the greatest, finest songwriters that ever lived.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a song. My favorite, actually, this is one of my probably top 3 favorite John Prine songs. My favorite John Prine song is "Angel from Montgomery."
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Yeah,
Pizza's here. You said "Angel from." Guess what? My next song was on the John Prine "Frenzy."
This is a beautiful song.
Oh, have you heard Bonnie Raitt do this song live?
She nails it.
She kills it. Bonnie Raitt is
amazing.
Oh, yeah. So, folks, if you have not checked out some John Prine, you're missing out.
You're missing it. Yeah.
Just one of the greatest American songwriters maybe ever. Hey, can somebody get Papa a beer? This Papa, not that Papa. This Papa beer would be awesome. Turns out this Papa, not that Papa. This Papa's thirsty. Parched.
Why don't you sing for a minute while I get myself a beer? I don't have anybody to step and fetch for me.
Well, if your wife wasn't so busy on the trampoline. So, while Brian's getting himself a beer, we did think about having some structure to tonight's show. And I was going to do a little thing about...
Okay, we're back.
I was going to do a little thing about new music, new country music this week. And then I started thinking about my partner Brian here, and his affinity for oh God, you're a goddess. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my friends at Pizza Port for brewing such a delicious beer. I'm drinking
you got a sponsor?
No, well, they don't know they're sponsoring me yet, but yeah, I got a sponsor. My friends at Timeless
I'd like
Pints.
to thank Earl from Earl's Like New Transmissions down the street.
My friends at Timeless Pints are going to sponsor next week. Oh, you would love this place. Up there, it's in Lakewood, right at the end of the Long Beach Airport runway.
I hear they speak good English out there.
They speak real good English, and better than that, they make some tasty damn beers.
Well, next time I'm out back home, as they say.
So you folks here in the local Long Beach, LA, Orange County area, don't be shy.
Are you selling airtime and I don't know it?
Not yet. I'm trying, though. Like, how great would it be if somebody was like, hey, here's $10. Buy yourself a new shirt and say our name. How great would that be? We've got upwards of 7 people. We got 7 people watching the show.
Do we really? Has anybody asked any questions or anybody want to get involved with this nonsense?
Skylar's father, who goes by...
No, I have not met him.
Well, his name's Rick, but he goes by the online handle of Jesus Mayor.
Jesus Mayor.
Jesus Mayor. And he actually... Yeah, listen, God bless him. He did write in a question for Max and Bryan. And he clearly wasn't drinking when he did it, because all he asked about was how do we cook ribs?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. There's no secret.
And I was that close to writing down on a barbecue.
Yeah. My answer is fairly similar as well. It's like your 3 Scotch chicken that you make.
That was Art Carr.
You stole that from Art Carr, because I thought that was Brian Burns' original, the 3 Scotch chicken.
You want to hear the true and quick story of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I was going through my divorce, right? And Art Carr had and Art and Donna Carr at the time had pretty much adopted me, and they'd have me over for dinner because eating my own cooking was probably going to kill me. And so Art calls me up one afternoon and he says, "Come on over. We're cooking tonight." I said, "Okay." So I went over there and he says, "I'm going to teach you how to cook the easiest thing there is to cook." So he gets this full chicken out and he puts it on one of those little stands, you put in the oven.
Just shove the chicken butt right up it, right?
Yeah, you just set it right on top of it. Right. And then he had Mrs. Dash, and he just covered that thing with Mrs. Dash's seasoning. And he fired up the stove to, I think, 350, 375, whatever it was. Puts it in there, slams the door, pours a scotch for me, pours a scotch for him. Mm-hmm. And we go to the living room and we're watching TV and we're talking. And we finish our scotch and he says, "You want another one?" And I said, "Sure." And he says, I'm trying to figure out, well, we've been in here for, 20 minutes, a half an hour drinking these scotch. Pours me another scotch, we drink it. And he says, "You want another scotch?" So this is scotch number 3. And it's probably, 6 o'clock in the evening, 6:30. I said, "Sure. But what about the chicken?" He said, "Don't worry about the chicken. The chicken takes care of itself." I thought maybe my own cooking's not looking so bad at this point. Finish the third scotch, put down the glasses. He pulls that chicken out. It is cooked to a turn. It might have been the 3 scotches or the 4th one we had with the chicken, but it was delicious. So the 3 Scotch chicken is Art Carr's claim to the culinary. Not only did he do everything with transmissions and torque converters and race cars, but he cooked one hell of a 3 Scotch chicken.
This brings to mind one of my very favorite stories about me and Brian. And so Brian used to work for Art Carr. Art Carr is if you look him up, he's a very famous
Hot Rod Hall of Famer.
Hot Rod Hall of Famer. Built transmissions for hot rods, right?
And all kinds of cars. Race cars, stock cars, NASCAR.
Ford Explorers.
Yes, that's right.
So
I know where this is going.
I had this Ford Explorer that I'd purchased, and it was just a pile of shit. What a piece of...
And
but
I don't know how I get
this.
blamed for this. But
No, well, hold on. So this Ford Explorer needs a transmission, and so I called Brian, who's working for Art Car Transmissions, who race car Hall of Famer, right?
Race.
Oh, bring
Hot
it
rod.
in, hot rod, bring it in. We're gonna fix you up. We're gonna put an Art Car transmission in your Ford Explorer, right?
Yeah.
And so go in. The whole thing happens. Now I'm gonna go out four-wheeling. I'm gonna go out to the Inyo White Mountains, just north of Death Valley with some friends, and we're gonna go off-roading. Because I got this Art Car transmission. There is no place on earth that my Ford Explorer can't go. And yes, I said Exploder.
I don't think you ever told me you were going to do that with that transmission.
Well,
that's the problem.
Did I have to? It's an Art Car transmission. It had the sticker right on the side of it. Art Car transmission.
Okay, when you finish the story, I'll tell you why it all happened.
All right, so I go up, and cell phones were just coming out at the time, and there's three vehicles out in the middle of frickin' nowhere in this desolate part of California, and the guy behind me, I'm in the middle, the guy behind me says, hey, one of you guys in front of me is leaking something out real bad underneath your car. And I'm like, oh, geez, don't let it be me. Hopefully it's the guy in front of me. And I look kind of up over my hood, and it's not the guy in front of me. I'm like, shit, it's me. I'm leaking something out terrible. So we shut the vehicles down, pull the hood open, go through everything, and it turns out there's no transmission fluid in my Art Car transmission because it had all just leaked out over the Inyo Whites, causing a terrible, what do you call it? Environmental disaster. Environmental disaster.
Environmental disaster, was it? Now, this is about, what, 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon when this all happened, yeah?
Yeah, and this is where the story really gets great. Because I had a cell phone, and I have my baby Alec in the car. Alec is, I don't know, 2.
My godson.
And he's responsible for all the technical mishaps this afternoon.
Wow.
Anyway,
nice, Dad.
Yeah, so I call Brian. I get a hold of him. I track him down. He's at the Elks Lodge. And I call him. I'm like, hey, Brian, I got a problem. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and the transmission is leaking. Can you give me? And Brian doesn't know shit about cars. He barely knows how to turn the key on and put it in drive. That's about Brian's
I know how to put gas in it. I know how to check the oil.
So
I know how to make it go forward, and I know how to make it go backward. What more do you want?
So I call Brian. He's at the Elks Lodge in the middle of a Saturday afternoon at the Elks Lodge in Huntington Beach. And
shooting dice, as a matter of fact.
I said, hey, I've got this problem. Can you get Art and see if there's anything we can do? Because I'm stuck in a mountain. There's no tow truck coming to get me where I am. And so Brian goes, oh, hold on a minute. I'm going to...
I didn't sound like that.
Oh, yes, you did, you lying bastard.
It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
And
I don't sound like that until about 10 o'clock at night.
No, you were slammed, my friend.
Come on.
So Brian says, yeah, hold on. I'm going to write down your number, and I'm going to call Art, and I'll call you right back. So Brian, not realizing that he hadn't put me on hold or anything, he puts the phone down on the bar, and I hear him say to the guy next to him, it's my buddy. He's up in the mountains. He's fucked.
Screwed. You can't use that word at the lodge.
Oh, did I? Is Facebook going to censor me? Damn it.
Yeah, probably. Nancy Pelosi's going to come to your house and duct tape your head or something.
Well, as long as she does it on a trampoline.
Don't worry. So, okay, keep going. So go ahead.
No, so that's right. Brian picks the phone back up, and he gets my phone number. He goes, listen, here's what you need to do. You need to let that vehicle cool down. It's hot, and you need to let it cool down. Now, Meanwhile, one of the other vehicles had started to trek back down the mountain 2 hours to this valley where there might be a Chevron station that might have some transmission fluid that we could dump. So 4 hours we're looking at, before we get. So Brian's like, listen,
it's a slow leak.
Just let it
Yeah,
cool down.
this is just not even right.
What you gotta do is you gotta let it cool
my
down.
God.
It's gotta cool down.
This is not even right. not even close.
Wait,
to
do you have an alternate version of this? Well, it cooled down. The guy came back with some transmission fluid. We made it off the mountain. Here I sit today, talking with the amazing Brian Burns, directed by John Ford.
Who's stupid now? Who's stupid now? I got your ass off the mountain, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
Yes, if it wasn't for my sage advice on how to get you out of there, you'd still be there.
It's running on overheat, and what you need to do.
It was running on overheat. That's exactly right.
It's on the overheat.
That's an actual term for transmission diagnosticians.
Really?
It's running on overheat.
Really, it's running on the overheat.
That's right. But I got you down out that mountain. Didn't I?
You did, and God love you. And here we sit today.
Right.
Nigh
and
on,
I wasn't anywhere near that toast.
22.
I was playing dice.
You're
and I was doing pretty well.
You were hammered.
Oh, I was not. That's
Listen,
me hammered at the Elks Lodge.
You're right.
You got me confused.
You're right.
You have me confused with David Seeley or something.
Well, listen, that guy knows how to get hammered at the. Oh, there's more people. So Jan Olson's still listening.
Hi, Janny. I love you.
She's asking where
you.
Dee Dee is.
Tell Ken I said hello.
Brittany, I think, may have checked out because the Buffett Happy Half Hour ended a while ago, and it was longer than half an hour.
Wow.
Don Hammer's on. Don Hammer, thank you for joining us. He says this show truly makes him appreciate iCarly.
Huh?
That was a kids show back in the when my kids were young. iCarly.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Todd Nelson, a buddy of mine here from Irvine, and
hello, Todd.
Don Hammer. I shaved everything between the belly button and the knees. Martha K. Batson. Martha K. Batson is listening in tonight from
hello,
from her home. She lives out by you.
She does.
Yes, and met her in England and spent a lovely afternoon with her and her beautiful husband and my wife at the Windsor and Eaton Brewery, drinking a bunch of beers one afternoon. That's right, the Winston and Eaton Brewery, where they brew some fine beers.
I'm not. What is everything like? You're what? It's like you're pitching commercials or something. What is with you?
Hey, listen. If if one of these breweries wants to throw, listen, even how great would it be if Adolf Coors sent you a 30-pack right now? Because you said,
wonderful.
I'm drinking Coors Light in my man cave.
And I would love this. And if anybody from Bonnie Blue Barbecue is listening in tonight, that's probably the finest barbecue in town right here. And if you're closed or I can't get over there, I usually head over to Jordan Springs Barbecue. And you know my address because you've delivered here before. So,
yeah, see?
There you go. I'm sure we'll be getting calls left and right tomorrow.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to read through some other comments. Hey, Martha, how are you? Mike Segura has joined us. He's a fine, upstanding citizen from the city of, I think Mike lives in Lakewood, if I'm not sure, not too far off. Colleen McDonald Roy has joined us, a high school friend of mine. I was in her and her husband's wedding, not just her husband's wedding. I was actually in her and her husband's wedding.
She had little to do with it, or?
Yeah, well,
wait a minute, hang on, I'm going to the bar. I'm going to the medicine cabinet. Hang on.
All right, very good. Who else has checked in with us? Colleen, thank you for joining us. I hope you're enjoying it. Mike, good to see you. Who else?
I'm back. And since we're talking about great things, Max, I would like to bring up my favorite bourbon, which would be Bullet Bourbon.
Bullet Bourbon.
Probably one of the finest bourbons ever made. Goes down really good with the barbecue you're going to get from Bonnie Blue and from Jordan Springs.
See, this whole advertising, making money on the internet's thing is easy. Anybody.
We haven't seen a dime.
We will. Dude,
we will. We'll see one dime.
you and I are about to blow up. Like we're going to be the sweethearts of Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg. I'm just waiting for him to call in. He's probably.
I'm waiting for him to call the FBI.
And listen, if anybody out there has an ear for Jimmy Buffett, tell him we'll give him the bat phone number. Well, listen, Jimmy, we'll stop the show. Come out, promote your new album, your tequila, that Margaritaville tequila. How great is Margaritaville tequila?
It is actually pretty good tequila.
Have you ever had a cheeseburger in Paradise at a Margaritaville restaurant?
I have.
Did you have it with pickles and cold draft beer?
Of course. How else do you have it?
Well, that's what
I'm at the one in Universal City, at the Margaritaville, they have the world's largest margarita, you know.
Is it larger than the one in Las Vegas?
Well, the restaurant in Vegas is bigger. And it's got more stuff to it because Universal City is kind of, you know how it is, kind of, everything's kind of crammed in together. But it's there.
Hey, Jimmy, Max and Bryan are available for personal appearances as soon as you get those restaurants back open. We love cheeseburgers. And
listen, I'm closer to Key West than you are. You'd have to fly out here.
You can't read my shirt, but I'm wearing my Jimmy Buffett son of a sailor shirt tonight.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I could have busted out one. I didn't know you were. I went with my John Ford T-shirt.
I like your John Ford shirt. Favorite John Ford movie? Go.
The Searchers.
That's a great movie.
Probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, it's an astounding movie, and. But everything, I love everything that Ford pretty much has done. I mean, there's a few clunkers in there like everybody else, but The Searchers is probably one of the best. Or probably the best, in my opinion.
For all of you who didn't know that thought that I didn't know you were still on, it turns out that I can scroll down. I'm not going to lie to you, reading and talking at the same time is not as easy as you might think. So...
Well, it can be a challenge.
If I'm in the middle of a sentence and I just do one of those, it's because
if I could see you go like this, you could throw it over to me, but I can't see you.
Hey, Brian, how about you say something?
Well, I'd love to. What would you like me to say?
Well, that's how I throw it.
You actually told two of the great stories that I was going to tell tonight. The transmission story, and the dog walk tiki bar story. Which I would love to know what your wife's take is on those, because she was my partner in crime with the tiki bar and the dog.
Listen, she was more than happy to sit around and drink beer with you and watch me and other men sweat like men.
And I must tell you, I'm always more than happy to drink beer with your wife.
She's a good beer drinker.
We've always had a good time drinking beer together.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't you? So. I enjoy drinking beer with my wife, too. One day when all this stupidness is over, we're going to go out and drink beer at Timeless Pints there in Lakewood, California.
Oh, you're killing me. Seriously. You know what? You live in a much bigger area than I do now. I remember how it was back there. I can canvass a lot more people a lot quicker than you can once this place opens up, because everything's right down the street.
Really? So
I'm just going door to door. And whatever I get, you'll get half of. So if I get half a rack of ribs, I will send them to you.
Outstanding. Will you send it to me like when you order the lobster from Boston and they send you the live lobster? Will you send me half a live pig?
No, but you want to know what we just bought, honest to God?
Huh.
We just bought a quarter of beef.
Like a quarter pounder?
No, a quarter of a cow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of cow.
Actually, Karina and Amir and Diane and I are splitting it together, so it's...
What's your favorite cut on the cow? What if you had an opportunity to say, "Hey, I would like to have this cut of the cow fried up in front of me"? What does that look like?
The yummy part.
Is there a yucky part of the cow? Maybe the cabeza or the lengua. Yeah, I'm not into the cabeza.
Although, if you go to I remember there's a butcher store downtown Huntington Beach, which was there for years and years and years, Standard Market. And you'd go in the Standard Market, and of course they'd have calf liver and they'd have, all that kind of stuff. But they also had calf brains. And my grandma Burns, would occasionally get brains and she'd cook them up with scrambled
brains.
Yeah, and I just couldn't get used to it's got a very unusual texture. But I've also eaten Rocky Mountain fries. I've tried those, and it seems like cannibalism to me.
It's from a specific movie. Yeah, it's from.
Are you still there? Did you pass
out?
No.
So Alec was challenging me. Do I know what movie? And I'll challenge you with this. You're a bit of a
yes.
movie
Go
guy.
ahead.
Brains. What movie is that from?
It sounds like Frankenstein in 1930.
It's not Frankenstein.
Brains.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, Dawn of the. Okay, all right.
No. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. What is it? It is from Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, Dawn of the Dead's sequel.
No. The George Romero, the original.
Yeah, he's talking about that. It's some. It's Return of the Living Dead. That's what he's saying.
After the dead kept returning, I gave up. After the first one, I figured they're just coming back and
getting rid of the dead is a pain in the ass.
Have you seen Zombieland, which is probably the Citizen Kane of?
Have you seen Zombieland Part 2?
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I don't think it was as funny.
I thought it was equally as funny, and the super hot annoying chick who you think's a zombie and then isn't a zombie. I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but.
Nah.
Yeah, did I just spoil? Damn it. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh.
Listen, everybody pretend you didn't hear that. And so Brittany likes scrambled brains and eggs. And turns out Jan Olson, her favorite is the tri-tip. So that's her favorite cut.
I love the tri-tip.
Turns out my wife loves drinking beer with you.
There you go.
And Mike Segura agrees that talking and reading is not easy. And no, Colleen, I cannot read. I went to a Catholic high school. Same one you did.
Well, yes, see, there you go.
So take that. Listen, I loved my high school. I don't know about you, but those were for the best years of my life there. I love my high school.
Now, you want to know something funny. You can't you have to special order a tri-tip out here. You want to
Do you really?
That.
Oh, yeah. You can't just go to the store and get you a tri-tip?
You have to, you have to go to an actual butcher store, and they'll trim one out. They have I forget what the cut is here, but it's almost exactly like a tri-tip. They call it something completely different. Mm-hmm. But you can get them, but not like home. Not really? Like home. Not the
Oh.
Yeah, they said we asked the butcher because tri-tip was a staple, and they said, well, they just didn't sell out here, and it's like, well, what's wrong with you people?
No, people on the right coast are stupid.
Well, they eat squirrels.
That's a joke for right coasters, right there.
You missed my good joke.
What I'm sorry, damn it! I stepped all over you. Go again.
Stepped all over it. You're not even going to set me up. People out here,
so right coasters are stupid.
Stupid. People out here eat squirrel and call it tree chicken.
That was worth it. That was totally worth it. And
it kind of lost something there.
It was amazing. All right, so Brian, you're gonna look at this later, and next week, hopefully, we will work out the technical difficulties, and you and I will actually be able to see each other instead of me just seeing you. And next week, when we do this, I'm gonna pull out the Max and Bryan crate of 45s from when we used to.
It still exists.
It still exists, and I'm gonna pull out the crate, and I'm gonna let you pick out a 45, and we'll revisit. So that's a reason for all 11 people watching us. 10 now. We lost somebody.
The one thing about this quarantine is great. I mean, people are starved for entertainment.
Yeah. We were up to 11 a minute ago, and it turns out somebody had enough of this nonsense. But I and you can't see this, but this is the Case Logic thing of CDs that we used to tote around.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so I'm showing it to the listening audience. So when Brian and I DJ'd the clubs, we had to bring our own music and things like that. So Brian, I'm going to flip through a page, or through the pages, and I want you to say stop.
All right.
Go ahead.
Stop.
All right. So we used to have these access to these DJ greatest hits, top 10 hits of the week CDs. So Brian, pick quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Let's go 2.
All right, 2 doesn't have a CD in it.
Let's go 3.
All right, so quadrant 3, Now I'd like.
Now I know. I'm kind of understanding how Stevie Wonder works these days.
All right, so quadrant 3. Now there are 14 songs on that disc.
Let's spin it right down the middle. Go 7.
Number 7. Here's a song you've never heard of before, and this was a hot hit back in the day. Let's see if we can.
I bet I'll know it.
Do you think so? Hold on. Hold on. Say something funny.
Something funny. I got nothing. I've got the classic, the MC. You got the, how you have on the cable that Music Choice. You got the classic country thing on there. They're actually playing Jimmy Dean at this point.
Really?
The Sausage Guy. Yeah.
He did a great song for Mother's Day. Have you ever heard his Mother's Day thing?
Yes.
Mark and Bryan used to play it at all.
Mother Love the Roses, or
no, yes, where he had a poem that he read to his mom.
Oh, that was a great one too. And Elvis did "Mama Love the Roses." Great song. But Jimmy Dean was Big Bad John. Big John.
All right, here we go. This is the song that you picked. You tell me if you know this song. This was a hot hit in 1990 something or another. All right, hold on. We played this.
Two hearts, one night together.
I know the song. I don't remember who sang it.
Soft whispers in the candlelight.
I know the song. I just don't know who sang it.
Mark Colley.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep. Mark Colley, we're reviving your career here tonight on the Max and Bryan Show.
So send us a check.
And if you own a barbecue joint.
Yeah, send me some ribs.
And if you've opened a brewery.
Send us some beer.
So yeah, this is Mark Colley from your pick on the. All I can see is the top of your hat.
I know. I'm trying to pour a beer. Hang on.
Oh, looked like you're trying to take a leak.
No. Got it.
All right. So Jan Olson is.
I love you, Jan. Love you, Kent.
Rick's a right coaster. He says, "What do you mean we're stupid?" Boom, bow fire. So, Rick, God, you and me and Tom Butler, who I had received a notification that Royanna might actually try to. Now, so just so you know, Royanna's my best friend in high school, and her best friend was Colleen, and Colleen's husband is Rick. There you go. That's how this all. So Rick, we met in college, and I was in there the whole thing, and then so Rick was a right. Now Royanna and her husband live in Europe, so if we got
they do.
hurt,
I remember. I've met.
You've met Royanna, actually. You have met Royanna, and
yeah.
How great would this be if she actually tuned in? We would be broadcasting to Europe. That's how big we are, my friends. Europe, taking Europe by storm. We can't even walk the streets in Europe because we're so big.
And nobody else can either at this point. A little thing called a quarantine. Ain't nobody walking.
This would actually be the perfect time for you and me to be walking around the streets in Europe because nobody.
It would be.
People would leave us alone. We could go to any pub or bistro we wanted to without being
stand
bothered.
Outside and look in. Yeah. Stand out there and go like this. I don't think there's anybody in there, Max.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we're getting a croissant.
Don't think we're getting a pint. Ain't no pints in there. Oh, speaking of pints.
Yes, sir.
I have a tip for everybody that is stuck in this nonsense. If you can, you can find it. You pull it up on YouTube. Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I saw you post about this, Mrs. Brown's Boys. I looked it up, and I've got to get a subscription on the Amazons to a Brit.
You don't even have to do that. Just look it up watch it on YouTube. And but I watched it on YouTube, and I thought, my God, this is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So I spent the $20 on eBay and got the complete series. We can only watch 2 of those episodes a night because we laugh so hard we can't stand up. Our ribs literally hurt from laughing.
Really?
I have never I have never seen any. I mean, I love to laugh, and I love to, I love comedy. And I thought I've seen some funny shows. Cheers was funny. There are so many great shows. I have never seen anything as funny as this show. Really? It is absolutely one of the most hysterical things I've ever seen in my life. And I like I said, this is no lie. We can only watch 2 of a night because we can't take it. We can't laugh anymore. We're laughed out. And we'll go to bed and we'll hold our sides because we hurt from laughing.
Really?
I'm not kidding you. It's worth the $20. Now you got to understand, it's British or it's Irish, so you've got to kind of listen to it. But oh my God, I mean, you'll die laughing. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. And if just for a taste of it, get on YouTube and check it out because it's just funny. It's just funny.
My favorite
funnier than anything I've ever seen.
My favorite part about this story is that you're still able to find stuff on Betamax to watch.
I got rid of that thing.
No.
I got rid of that thing like 20 years ago. You were at my house when I threw it out, dummy.
It took 2 of us to throw it out. The thing weighed a ton.
It weighed $1,500 when we bought it.
That's why the upstairs room had a dent in the floor because the floor was giving way because you had the Betamax on a table in the corner and the structure of the building couldn't support it.
Don't you remember we threw away all those 8 tracks?
Oh, I don't know. No, Sam's. How you doing? Still there?
Huh?
No. Listen. It's not a. I'm not in the man cave. I'm out in the general public broadcasting here. So I
see that's your problem.
Yeah. All right.
What you need to do is build yourself a man shed.
Man shed.
Not a she shed.
No.
A Max shed.
Some people would look at me and say, "Hey, he's already got a man shed and it's covering his tools." But that's a whole different thing.
That's different. You can't maybe you can broadcast from there.
We'll find out. We'll see if I get censored for that. Hey, I'm just thinking we're closing in on the 1 hour mark, and I'm thinking I need a whiskey.
I think you might want to do that. As a matter of fact, I might need to go see a man about a horse.
So why don't we do this? Everybody, this is...
Have a musical interlude for 5.
No, actually, Brian, you don't get to go take a leak. My wife would like to have a word with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome her to the stage for the first time tonight. Get out your 1s and your 5s and sit up at the perv rail. My wife, Christy Rye.
Get out of the way. All right.
Hello, darling.
Hey, Brian. Hey, everybody.
Yes, darling.
Just so you know, Brian, that Max just ran to the bathroom to go, drain the main vein.
What a putz.
Right?
What a putz.
He told you you couldn't get up and go to the bathroom. So
and here I am, a man in my advanced years.
Yeah, but look at you. You're aging so well.
I think I am. I feel good.
You look good.
I'm getting a little gray in the temples here. Can you see the gray?
Yeah, but you got great hair.
Yes, I do.
Great
God
hair.
love
So
me.
you know what you guys need to do is get Max to go like this. And then
I can't see you, sweetheart.
You look. Oh, you can't. I thought you guys could see each other now.
No. We didn't have that. But when we do this again, you can show me what to do. Is he losing his hair good?
Shh.
He is, isn't he?
No, it's not good. It's just.
What a putz.
No. Well, you saw him not too long ago. It's just a little.
Yeah, it's getting a little thin.
Up in by his part,
Well, it's okay. I'd like to say mine's thinning, but I'm not that big a liar.
Sure, babe. We were talking about how you and Brian are so
handsome,
fortunate to still have all your hair, and
how good looking we are for men our age,
and how good looking you guys are. Yeah. So Brian.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me something that we don't know about you.
Something you don't know about me?
Yeah.
You've known me for 35 years or something. What don't you know about me?
Okay, so I'm going to tell people something they may not know about you.
Okay.
Brian is famous for one thing in particular.
Oh my God. We're not going to go there, are we?
It's huge. And I don't just mean huge. I mean ginormous.
It's really huge. Is.
Brian.
That's why I walk this way.
Brian is known as the guy who does the horse.
Now, before you go any further, I don't mean to cut you off, darling. Explain that story.
I don't want to explain it, Brian. I want
you're killing me.
I want you to show them. I want you to redeem yourself, and the only way you can do that is to show them what I mean by that.
Well,
and I know that you can do this without music.
I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. Is that what you're that's where we're going, right?
Yes. I would like you to sing
this
song.
I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. Right? Now, do me a favor and explain that story because people are thinking this is an odd reference.
Okay, so we met
at Snappers.
I met Brian
at Captain Nash's, or was it Snappers?
It was Snappers.
Okay.
It was long before Max met Brian. I met Brian through Gene Merle. Babe, you got to do the escalator thing. So I met Brian through a guy named Gene Merle. Gene is a performer. He was on last week. Was he not on for a little bit, you guys?
He was on last night, I think, and I didn't get to see him.
No. He was on last Saturday night with you guys.
Yes, he was.
I thought he was. So Gene's amazing. So Gene, I met
probably
Gene.
One of the greatest entertainers I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was out on a date with this guy in Newport Beach. We stopped at I think it was the Back Bay Resort in the Back Bay, Newport Beach, to have dinner.
I was the Cabana boy.
No, different story.
Oh, that was another story. Okay.
Different story. So this guy and I are at the bar. We're waiting for our table, and I hear this guy at the piano bar start singing the song "The Rose," and that was always a favorite song of my mom's. And I was sitting there just stunned by how beautifully he sang this song and how passionately he sang it. So I went over, and I swear, back then, I think I dropped a 5 in his tip bowl, but that's a lot of money when you're 20.
Well, well, in 1968, that was, somebody's rent.
Hey, it wasn't. I was 22.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Come on now. Come on now. No, we were in. It was in the 80s, it was late 80s.
I'm just kidding.
So I tipped him, and then we got our table. We were seated. Gene proceeded to when he was done performing, got up, came over to our table to personally thank me for tipping him, quite well.
Right.
And how much that meant to him. So after the dinner, I ended up not liking the guy, and we drove separate cars. He leaves. I'm coming out, and who's standing there? His car won't start, and it's Gene Merle. So I gave him.
That sounds about right.
I gave him a jump. Here I am now out there in the parking lot.
You meant the car?
Yes, of course, the car. This is a family show. So he invites me to come and see him again at another gig, and sure enough, who's up on the stage? But this guy with a cowboy hat this big, singing the song, "I Walk the Line." Oh, Gene, the background music is Gene right now. But
yes, I know. I know that voice anywhere.
I don't want to take away from Brian, but Brian was singing that song, "Oh, Wilbur." And I said to my girlfriend, "Oh my gosh, that guy does the horse like no one's business." So Brian got the nickname as the guy that does the horse because I always forgot his name. So I told Max when we started dating, I go, "You got to come and see this guy that does this horse. He's phenomenal." So it just became a little inside joke. So
now, wait, let me clear something up because this could go so wrong in so many ways.
Yeah.
I used to, when Gene would get me up there, we'd start to do Johnny Cash, and I'd go, well, Wilbur, as a reference to Mr. Ed, because Cash had that deep voice, and he'd kind of, and I'd say, Wilbur, and Christy just automatically being a child of that era as I was, and watching Mr. Ed on TV, which was a talking horse, it just kind of stuck. That's how that came about. Yeah. But it was also the size of my penis.
Okay, well, there you go. G. Merle, if you're out there listening, it would be great. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was a way he could hear us out in the radio?
There would actually be a great thing. You know what would be a great thing is we can get Gene, me, and Max on the same thing at the same time.
And Christy.
I got to tell you, I watched a lot of people. I loved watching, we grew up in the same era. So watching guys like Johnny Carson work and watching great entertainers that could really entertain on TV was one thing. But to see a guy that could actually hold a crowd with just him and his guitar for 4 or 5 hours straight, I've never seen anybody perform like Gene Merle. Gene Merle, he could work a crowd better. You could spend $3,000 going to a concert, and you'd never see Garth Brooks or Jimmy Buffett or anybody you want to talk about work a crowd as well as Gene Merle can do.
Yeah, he's a true performer, and I can't believe you guys aren't playing "The Man from HB," his signature.
I don't
song.
know if he ever recorded. Max, did he ever record that?
Yes, Max has it.
Oh,
Max
you do? I don't even have it. Ooh. And I've got all my old Gene Merle CDs.
Well, someone has a birthday coming up, don't they?
Yeah, I thought you were getting me my karaoke machine and my submachine gun. Because this quarantine, huh?
You don't need no.
You don't need a karaoke machine.
No. What you guys really need to do though is you guys have to figure out where Max can be playing the guitar and you could be singing. Because
that's the problem with this technology is that usually one of us is either way ahead of each other, way behind each other because there's that little pause.
Yeah.
But if you guys, when all this becomes this quarantine nonsense, and you guys can come out here and we come back there for a little while, we'll have to do just a live show one night. And, because I didn't know, Julia's engaged, right?
No.
Yes, her and Matt got engaged, and they're planning a wedding next year.
That's awesome.
That's
Please
awesome.
tell her
So we're happy.
That's fantastic.
I will. Yeah.
But
So
Brian,
we'll be done.
I'm thinking you guys need to get like your own YouTube channel. You guys need to do like.
Yeah, my grandkids have one.
Anyone
those little nippers.
Dogs have them. Okay.
Dogs have them. Well,
dogs have their own YouTube channel.
I think the last time they did any kind of a ratings check, Max and Bryan did go a click above the barking dachshunds doing Jingle Bells.
I don't know. They were pretty cute. I'm kidding.
We're sitting right here.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I love you, Bri. Hey,
love
so
you
Brian,
too, sweetheart.
Look at Max. Max brought. Oh, damn it.
I can't see.
I hate that you can't see. There's got to be.
I do too. I feel like Ray Charles.
Brian, that.
I mean that in the nicest way.
Hey, so let me tell you a joke, Brian.
I hear it.
You want?
Huh?
You want me? I want to tell you a joke. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Prepare yourself. Okay. What did the bra? No. Yeah. What did the bra, as in a brassiere, say to the hat?
I don't know. What did the bra say to the brassiere?
No. The bra said to the bra said to the hat, "You go up on ahead. I'll give these two a lift." Get it? I'll give these two a lift.
Wait a minute.
All right, smartass. Cheers to you, Brian. Love you, my friend.
Love you, darling.
And I'll give.
God bless you, sweetie.
God bless you too. Give Diane our love. I'm gonna give the thing back to Max because he's freaking out. So.
Well, he can freak out all he wants. I'm gonna go pee now.
Oh, Brian's going pee pee.
And go to the movies.
Okay.
Go to the movies.
Thank you.
Watch the C5.
Gene Merle.
Crashing everywhere.
Oh shit! I'm back. Do you got to pee?
Okay. Well, yeah.
You know what you need is one of them little buckets like they used to have back in the old days.
Up yours, but you come home to me.
There you go. Pee in that.
I pee bigger than that.
So are we taking a 5-minute pee break?
Give me 5 minutes and we'll get right back.
5 minutes seems like a long time.
Okay, let's go 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes, everybody. We'll be right back. Everybody take a leak. We'll see you in a minute.
One fan of the man. Mr. Jam. Doubt if they're ever gonna stop. And the waves they seem to get so large. Doubt if they're ever gonna drop. But there ain't no one to blame. I still have my end cafe and Bilbo Baggins door frame. All right, who is it? Please come to Norco to live forever. We can buy a mobile home and raise pigs in the yard. Watch the prisoners escaping down from Chino. And it's still a great place for Clay to take a piss on the way to Las Vegas. Please come to Norco, she said. We may finally have a good take of that one.
My God. Okay, for you people who don't know what that was.
Let's try it again. Please come to Norco, she said. You come home to me. And she said, Rambo, why don't you settle down?
Down.
Norco ain't your kind of town. There ain't no gold and there ain't nobody like me. I'm the number one fan of a man from HB. I'm the number one fan of the man from HB. Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Knock, knock. Today, slow down. It's time to relax.
You didn't shoot anybody?
Hey, everybody. I've peed. That was my son, Austin, in the background, who you got to watch. And you didn't get to enjoy his piano playing because you were enjoying the fantastic music, sound stylings of Gene Merle, a guy who actually wrote a song for Christy Mine's wedding.
Okay.
And I would like to...
Yes.
Hey, Brian, welcome back.
Hello. Thank you.
It's come to my attention that your neighbor and my nephew-in-law, John Penfold's about to have a birthday.
Is he really? How old
Yes.
is he going to be? How old is that lad?
72, I think.
He's a pup.
He's no younger than
He's
38.
a pup. Really?
No, he could be. He's probably in his early 30s.
How old's Brittany?
Yeah, she's in her 30-somethings.
Okay.
She was born
Well,
in the
happy
80s.
birthday, man.
So, we could offer up John Max and Bryan birthday song.
Think we should?
I think it's warranted.
Let's do this thing. Ready?
Are you ready?
Count it down.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
This is a special day. Happy
birthday. Happy birthday.
May all your dreams,
come true. Happy birthday
from Max and Bryan to you. Hey! There you
We
go,
made
John.
tips on that. We could buy him a blowjob.
Wow,
but he's
John
not here.
turns 40 tomorrow. That's what I'm getting. John
40
Penfold
tomorrow.
turns 40 tomorrow.
Well, life just is beginning to end at 40.
Cheers, John. Proud of you. We
Cheers,
love
John.
you. You're a good man.
Hang on, let me get something to cheers him with. I mean, 40, that's a milestone.
It is a milestone.
Yeah.
I
of
remember
course it is.
40. 40 was a pretty damn good year.
You get to be our age, tomorrow's a milestone. You kidding me? Here's the John.
Here's to John Penfold.
Well, happy birthday, and happy birthday to those beautiful children and that beautiful wife of yours.
Yeah. They're good people. Good people.
Yeah, they are nice people.
The Jamesons
They are
have
nice
shown up. And I have mastered the art of making clear ice cubes.
Have you? How do you do that?
I got this thing on Amazon. You put some water in it, and it freezes it, and it makes clear ice cubes.
I'm sorry I asked.
It's listen, making clear ice cubes is not as easy as you think. They don't just come out clear. If you look at the ice cube that's in your refrigerator right now, you're thinking it's a nice cold ice cube, but it's not clear. You can't see through it.
Why does that make a difference?
Well, the clearer the ice cube, the colder it is.
You want to hear the ultimate Ice Cube story? Why are we talking about Ice Cube? This is the ultimate Ice Cube story. Honest to God. John Wayne on the Wild Goose used to, take it all the way up to Alaska, go cruise Alaska on this minesweeper.
Out of Newport Beach.
Out of Newport Beach. They'd come up near a glacier. They'd get into their little boat, and his crew would go out there and chip huge chunks of this pristine glacier and put them into the huge ice chest and bring them back with them. And they said it was when it melted, it was the most pure tasting water anybody had ever tasted. And they put them in their drinks, just little chips at a time, and they'd stay cold for like 3 hours. So if we're talking ice cube, we got to find a glacier.
That's you'll see this later, and you're going to look in I want you to mark this down, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Are you marking
I didn't know
down?
There'd be a quiz. I'm so unprepared.
1 hour and 15 minutes. And I'm holding up and there's one large clear ball of ice hanging out.
I'm glad you clarified.
With Mr. Jameson's finest. And listen,
you actually put ice in your whiskey?
I do put ice in my whiskey. I enjoy ice in my whiskey. One ginormous clear ball. It's just fun to say.
I gotta tell you, this is a great story. You know Dick's Sporting Goods, right? Right?
Yes, I do. I know Dick's Sporting
Goods. You're getting way ahead of me on this story. So I'm driving around with the grandkids. No install. Just the three of us. And no one wants to get a hoodie. Okay, let's go. He couldn't find one he liked at any other store. And I said, there's only one other place I know to go, and that's Dick's Sporting Goods. And he's back in the backseat of my truck going, and I said, what are you laughing about? Dick's Sporting Goods. 10-year-old Noah thinking that's fine. And then 7-year-old Stella wants to know what we're laughing about.
How'd you explain that to her?
I said it was just a funny name.
And she bought it?
She's 7.
All right, I'll take that.
But to see that little 7-year-old boy giggly like you just did, priceless.
My favorite part of that, and I can't wait for this moment in the show next week, because you told the story last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Well, it's a good story.
It's a great story. Anytime you can incorporate the word dick into conversation.
Oh, well, especially with a 10-year-old boy who thinks that's absolutely the funniest thing he's ever heard in his life.
And you know what's amazing? There's names like that, like Dick. Nobody calls their kid Dick anymore.
No, and you know what Patsy Cline's real name? Or I mean, she married a guy named Charlie Dick.
Really?
So she was
Patsy
Dick. Why do I know this?
Here's something I got for you.
Yeah.
As I was I actually did some show prep. Believe it or not.
You can't let me see you, but you did this?
Yeah. So,
okay, go ahead.
What I found out, and listen, you can say it's not true, but it makes perfect sense to me.
All right.
That farts can spread the coronavirus. Farts can spread the coronavirus. Yes.
Get out of here.
It's a thing. And so there's a thing out there that advises you against bare butt farting, because your clothes and your underwear and your pants act like a mask for your farts. And if you're bare butt farting out there, it turns out that's how the disease spreads. So if you're in the bathroom just letting them fly and Diane walks in after you, turns out she's highly susceptible to the corona.
That's fake science, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you and I let loose, we clear the room. Ain't nobody sticking around. So if you think somebody's going to stand there and linger in that.
Right. No, but like, let's just say, like, you're in the bathroom. You're letting them fly because you're in the bathroom by yourself, just getting out of the shower. Not a lot of cover going on there. And you you don't realize it, but then in walks Diane because she's got to go. And you're like,
no,
wait,
no,
honey, honey, I just let fly with the bare butt farts.
That will never happen.
No,
She gives me, when I go in the bathroom, for whatever reason, I have plenty of room.
she
clear
doesn't
out,
crowd your
clear out.
space.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 That's CNN nonsense. That's crap they're putting out there for people who don't fart.
Well, listen, everybody farts.
No, Nancy Pelosi, I'm convinced, does not fart.
Really?
You ever look at that kisser on that broad? Good God Almighty, that face could stop a clock.
Yeah, but she has a big rack of hoodies on her.
You've been looking at Nancy Pelosi's hoodies?
Well, they're there for everyone.
You might want to check out your wife and talk to her for a little while. Your wife's a beautiful woman, Nancy Pelosi. Good.
My
God.
wife just asked if we're being appropriate.
We are not.
We are not being appropriate.
But since we were the only guys. Remember, we used to tell people at 10 o'clock the adult show started, and then that's when we play all the dirty.
And it's
dirty
10
stuff.
o'clock where you live.
Oh, it's way past 10 o'clock where I live.
Yeah.
No, but we'd stop the whole thing, and people would actually stick around for that.
Absolutely. People preferred the adult show. There was the two things that people really loved about Max and Bryan were the fact that we got it going on from the waist down.
That's true.
And that we had the adult hour, and we had the Jimmy Buffett happy half hour early in the evening.
The only people that didn't dig us was Denim and Diamonds didn't dig us.
Yeah, we weren't corporate enough for those people.
Oh my God, that was the longest night of our lives, I think, collectively. Wasn't?
Oh, they couldn't wait to escort us out.
Oh, they wanted us. They wanted us gone. How they even got us up there was a miracle to me.
What was the other cowboy place over by Disneyland that we played?
God, there were so many of them.
There was the other big place that was like a Denim and Diamonds, but it was the Cowboy Boogie, maybe.
Oh, the Cowboy Boogie.
They loved us there.
Yeah, and
the
never asked us
people loved
back.
us. Management didn't love us so much.
No, management, and so and we kept trying to get in the Crazy Horse too for the longest time.
Yeah, it turns out
we got to get you guys. We got to get you guys in here. We got to get you guys in here. And
yeah, turns out that stuffed white shirts with ties on don't get it.
Although the Hilton and a lot of places did. I mean, the places that did pretty good business,
That's right. The Waterfront Hilton in Huntington Beach, one of the world's premier resorts in the Southern California area.
You're killing me. Are you serious? When you're in Huntington Beach.
When you're in the Huntington Beach area, call the Waterfront Hilton. Book a room.
Make sure you get the homeless out before you get there.
Well, and listen, ask for the Max and Bryan special.
That worked for us. Got us up in that. Remember that floor with the free cocktails and the.
How great would it be if Karen Anthony called in right now?
I wonder whatever happened to Karen. She was a wonderful gal. I really like Karen.
I told you we did. Christy had a corporate event for one of her customers there. Was it a year ago, 2 years ago, and Karen Anthony was still there, still doing her thing. She wasn't at the Hilton, was she? She was. No, she was at the Hilton. Yeah. And
I thought she went from there to someplace else.
No, what we saw her, she was running the Hilton, and she looks exactly the same.
Hasn't changed a bit.
Hadn't changed. Hadn't aged a minute.
She was a sweetheart. And John, I can't remember what John's last name was.
I think John passed.
Oh, he was the nicest man.
And they both took such good care of us at the Waterfront Hilton in Huntington Beach. Be sure to book your rooms early for this spring break. Ask for the Max and Bryan special.
That's canceled.
So, Brittany wants to know, did you do Texas Lucy's? That sounds like a loaded question. Brittany also posted hashtag fake farts.
God love her. Did we do Texas Lucy's? That's where our career actually,
we started.
Our friendship started way before that.
Yes.
But the Max and Bryan show, that's we were Texas Lucy's for the longest.
Well, there was PJ the DJ.
Yes.
And
I wonder if he's still alive.
I wonder if that too, because he was. And I wouldn't say anything disparaging. PJ was kind.
He was a very nice man.
Good to us.
He really was.
it made us feel bad that we stole his job.
It made us feel bad for about 6 hours.
And then they started buying us drinks. And then
and then they offered us a job. And,
Yeah.
and that
PJ's
job, how long were we there, Max? We were there for
an
a couple of
eternity.
years, were we
Yeah,
not?
well, it had to start 91, and we were there through 94, maybe, when they closed down.
I think that's probably right, but we were still working at Fullerton, at the Fullerton one.
And for those of you guys who don't know what a Texas Lucy's is, it was like a not a Red Robin, but like a Chili's, right?
It was a Chili's with better food.
And
I thought
they
they
had,
had better food.
the food was pretty good, but their claim to fame is that they had beautiful young waitresses walking around in just nothing but a vest, a cowgirl vest, and a cowgirl
with
hat,
a leather vest,
and chaps,
and leather chaps,
and their
with
backsides
little,
hanging out.
They had their butts were covered for the most part. I mean,
No.
they weren't running around in G things.
They're well. I mean, you couldn't see, where the sun don't shine, but you.
Well, we couldn't see that. But remember that one gal that came in?
Look at us censoring ourselves.
Huh?
Look at us censoring ourselves all of a sudden.
Well, we really shouldn't, because it was nothing. I mean, there was nothing seedy about it.
No.
They were
It was a family restaurant.
They weren't wearing a lot of clothes, but there was that one gal that was a really nice waitress who was very, very, very nice. But she wore one of those
big set of
she had kind of she had a bottom that was a little bigger than, and she wore one of those bikinis that kind of went this way, and so she had tan. Remember that we used to call it the whitetail?
Oh God, yeah.
Remember that? There's a whitetail crossing. But everybody would used to ask us, so you guys are DJs in a strip joint? It wasn't a strip joint.
That wasn't a strip joint.
But
there was that one Valentine's Day.
Yes, there was the one Valentine's Day. We still have pictures of that somewhere.
I'll post pictures on the Max and Bryan site. Be sure to check it out.
But man, we used to pack that place. I mean,
we did. Listen,
that place.
We were Orange County sweethearts for the blink of an eye. Mike Edwards reminding us that the Pink Saddle Gay Bar loved us. Well, hell yeah, they did. Look at us.
They
for
love
God's
Max
sakes.
more than me, but
wow. Listen, any love is good love.
Yeah, right.
Right.
No, we hit some clunker places, but we hit some really good places that were really good to us, and met some great people and had a lot of fun. And I was thinking about this today. We played a wedding, and who was it? Nacho and what was that gal? You remember this wedding, Max?
You're going to have to go deeper than that, because
she was a little weird, little redheaded gal, I think, and she got married to a guy named Nacho somewhere in Lakewood or something.
These people didn't have anything to do with Crazy Bob and.
No, I don't know. I don't think they did. But we were there, and they started popping fuses because there was so much going on. And he said, well, we got to start unplugging things to keep the lights on. And you told this guy 5 times when we were standing at the DJ thing, you can unplug anything but the orange cord. Mm-hmm. Anything but the orange cord.
I do remember
we
this.
Keep the music going. We can keep everything going. 5 times you told him that. And anything else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
First thing he did.
Unplug the fucking orange cord.
And then he looks at us like,
why is there no music?
Oh, we played some great weddings. We had it was a lot of fun.
It was a great one. I wouldn't trade a minute of it. Maybe. No, I think it was all pretty good.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. There was that one weird wedding we played in Long Beach at, it might have been like a VFW or something like that, right? And we were the only people out of, let's call it 50, that weren't related.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you and I were the only people there that had a good time.
That was the Mormon wedding.
Yeah, it may have been a Mormon wedding.
It was the Mormon wedding. And remember, nobody danced. Nobody danced.
Hey, we're down to 3 viewers.
Are we really? Who?
I don't know how to tell who's watching. But it looks like Gregory Couch may be on. Mike Edwards.
Oh, derails there. And
Greg
Carol.
Couch.
I love you guys. Nice. I miss
Mike
you.
Edwards has joined us. He couldn't find a date. Brittany left. Mike
Your own
Edwards.
family.
Mike Edwards is the reason that I met my wife, period. He had a bad taco before an Oingo Boingo concert, and boom, 30 years later, I'm married to his old roommate.
Wow. Now, did I know Mike? I don't think I knew Mike.
You knew Mike. He was in the wedding.
Oh, I remember Mike. Okay.
You're a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Not much of a personality, a little dull.
And
Love
we
you,
lost
Mike.
another viewer. Can't imagine why that happened.
No. Listen, love you, Mike. You're a good man, and
I remember Mike.
I don't care what anybody says. But Mike was a player back in the day. Like Mike had.
He was a good-looking guy. Nice guy.
And chicks dug this guy.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I got to move over to I got to get another beer.
And your marks, you got 3 seconds. On your marks, get set.
Wait a minute.
How long does it take you to get a beer, for Christ's sakes?
Well, I was also going to show you my new hat.
I'll give you $5 right now.
Yeah.
$5 right now. Crisp, brand new $5 bill. If you just holler over your shoulder, Diane, get me a beer.
Dumbass. Let me explain something to you. You see this wall? You know what's on the other side of that wall? Dirt. I'm in a cellar, dummy.
Well, yell. You got to yell loud. You're telling me she can't hear you through the rafters.
She can hear me, but the beer's right there. Not upstairs.
You're on the TV right now, and she's not.
So you're asking me to get my ass kicked for over a beer?
A crisp $5 bill.
Now I'll get my own beer. Hang on. Just hold on.
Your phone's drooping.
Goddamn duct tape. Don't ever buy duct tape at the Walmart. Hang on.
I thought that's where they invented duct tape.
That's where they invented and a lot of other communicable diseases. But I'm all right now, but last week was rough.
Looks like you did the triple Lindy. So while Brian's getting a beer, this is a fun time to read through some viewer mail. Mike Edwards, we love you. You're a good man. And again, hashtag fake farts was probably one of my favorite comments of the night. Thank you, Brittany. Let's see. Did I miss any? Colleen, Max turned the country music off. Rick says so. Well, you guys aren't watching anymore, so I'm going back about an hour for comments.
Now I feel good.
Oh, look at that lid. And listen, I thought it was going to come to this. So tell folks about your new lid, and while I go get my new lid.
I'll give you a crisp $5 bill if you take that beer and twist off the top with your butt cheeks.
What? How? I'm going to get my lid. You put.
Oh, you're going to get your hat on. Okay.
Yeah, what
I thought you said beer.
the hell
I'm
is the
sorry.
problem?
I apologize.
All right, so tell them about your new lid. That's a good looking hat.
Well, I've been looking for a good straw hat for a long time, and I've never had a lot of luck with straw hats because most of them have very small brims on them, and on me they don't look that good. But I of all places on eBay, and I found this one, and it's one of the George Strait Resistol. So if the Resistol people are listening tonight, I'll take any hats you want to send. But it's called the Brixton model, and turns out if you ever saw the movie Hell or High Water with Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine, this is the same hat that they gave to Jeff Bridges for.
Brian can't see you.
No, Brian can't see me.
see
But
you.
when you watch back tomorrow, and I want you to mark down 1 hour and 34 minutes.
If you tell me to write down one more thing, I'm going to shove that pin right up your nose.
When you see my new lid in comparison to yours, you're going to be like, wow, Max won. Just so you know.
What kind of hat did you get? I can't.
I'm wearing I'm wearing a honey. Hey, babe. Babe, come take a picture of me and text it to Brian real quick.
Yeah, would you?
Wait, that could screw up your phone.
Okay, do it after the show.
All right. So
did you get a new straw hat? Seriously, a cowboy?
Well, I have a new hat, and you're going to be like, wow. You're going to just sit there and go, Max won.
Well, I'm sure you did, but
well,
I'm happy with mine.
Listen, your hat's super nice, and but
you win.
I won. I'm just saying now.
Good for you. Outstanding.
Just wait, and you're going to be envious and jealous,
sure.
And I'm going to tell you right now, green's not your color.
Okay, wait. Is his number still 318-6948?
Are you 318? No, don't say
Yes.
it over the things. He's going to get spam calls now. Wait,
318.
The whole Facebook can hear you.
318 what?
You sign it to her.
It's
last 4 digits. I just need the last 4.
last four.
Write it down.
What's the last 4?
Oh, you're killing me. Are you serious?
In Spanish.
Yeah, because nobody will get that.
It's whatever you have. He hasn't changed his number ever.
My number has not changed.
He hasn't changed his number.
It hasn't changed in 20 years.
All right.
Say
I had to lose my lid. But trust me, when you see that, you're going to be like, that son of a bitch.
No, I thought
No,
it was
that's a
pretty
beautiful
good.
hat. And I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't had a straw hat like that in a long time. It looks good on you. I'm envious. I think you wear it well. And although my hat's better. I'm just saying right now. It's just,
I'll take your word for it. I'll take it. I'll tell you the funniest thing. How many people is my ex-wife listening to this at all?
I haven't seen her name pop
up on
she was
going to.
Yes, no, we're down to 3 viewing audience members.
Well, how can we offend them?
I don't think we can offend them, so go.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
No, I got nothing here.
You guys count as 2?
We do not count as 2 of the viewing members, so there's no. No, there's 2 other people besides us, 3 other people besides you and me. Paying attention to this.
Can you read them, or can you?
I don't know how to tell who's who, or
Where's my godson? Why isn't he standing by?
Alec, Papa would like to have a word with you. This is going to be good.
It's going to be classic.
So next week we'll pull out the 45s.
What can I help you out with?
Okay, godson, I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you see who's actually paying attention? Who's online listening to this nonsense at this point?
Yeah.
Ooh, we're up to 4. Somebody joined.
Are we really? Who might that be?
Oh, it might be Christy. Might be my wife. So, Papa, I'm now wearing. I changed out of my my sombrero, and I'm now wearing.
Oh, did you get a sombrero? Did you actually get a real sombrero?
And Ballast Point makes some of the finest beers in Southern California. And if you haven't had a Ballast Point beer, do yourself a favor, and when they open up, go get you a growler and sit at the Long Beach Ballast Point Brewing Restaurant and overlooking,
which is actually very good. Well,
Los Alamitos
we met you
Bay,
there that time.
and have yourself a beer and ask for the Max and Bryan special.
Because I drive over there in my Dodge Ram 1500, which I'm very happy with. Anybody that's looking for a truck really ought to be driving a Dodge Ram 1500.
He can't do it. He doesn't. Yes. Hold on, Brian. Say something funny.
Something funny. I'm not quite sure why I'm left. Whoever is out there listening at this point, I hope you're doing fine. Thank you for spending a few hours of your precious time in quarantine where you have nothing else to do, listening to this nonsense. But we're having fun with it. Oh, wait a minute. There's a text here. Let me. If you can,
don't screw this up. For the
I'm not going to look at it now. I'll look at it later.
But
How's
God,
that?
I wish you could look at. Do you have the ability to like? Because you're gonna see my hat and you're gonna be like, that son of a bitch.
I'll look at it after. I don't want to screw this up because it'll take us forever to get back on, and
It's true.
I'm not sure how much longer you want to go, but we can go forever if you want.
So anyway,
I mean, I've got plenty of bourbon. I got plenty of beer.
oh listen, I could go a marathon broadcast.
There
I
you
got
go.
my
We could do this for
Costco
hours.
sized Jameson and.
Oh, did you? You got one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. You know, the thing out here is you can't buy booze at the store. You have to go to an ABC store.
Yeah, that really screwed me up when I came to visit out there.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I went to the grocery store to try and, we got some groceries. We had in our Airbnb and we hung out, and I had to find a whole different store to go to get some liquors.
Yeah. You got to go to the state store, and they're only open for certain hours, and it's a little weird, but yeah, I mean, you still get beer, wine, and all that.
I went to this one ABC store, and they had liquor at the front of the building there, and in the back,
poker in the rear.
There was a card game going on, so they had, of course, liquor in the front and poker in the rear.
You haven't. Yeah, see.
Good night, guys.
There you go. And
Austin.
you're even losing your own family. At this
Oh yeah,
point.
no, they're
They're
clearly,
done.
we're only entertaining you and me, and we lost another viewer.
But we can't see who's listening in or who's.
No, we don't have that kind of. It's Facebook. You don't know what's what or who's who. Favorite?
Well, when Gene does this on Facebook, because I did it when he was on live one time, he could read all the comments and all the. I mean, because he gave us a big shout out. And
He wrote a song for me and Christy for our wedding.
did he?
Yes, he
I
did.
think I know that. I
He,
know that.
Yeah, it was beautiful and lovely, and you know who I'm hoping calls in next week?
Ooh.
I'm just putting this out there in the universe.
Ooh.
Garth Brooks.
Well, I think I'd like that too.
I got a shiny
I like Garth.
$5 bill, crisp,
For Garth,
for anybody
it's shiny.
that gets
It's
Garth
a shiny
to call in.
$5 bill.
Hey,
Shiny.
here's something. And Austin's girlfriend Sam brought this to my attention. She has a brand new 2020 quarter of a dollar, quarter,
Yeah.
quarter, like you'd get at in change.
I'm pretty much familiar with what a quarter of a dollar is. Yeah.
What do you think is on the 2020 quarter that she has?
I've heard on the back of it. I heard it's a bat.
It's a mother bat.
Tell me this whole thing wasn't planned in advance.
Some jackass in China eats a bat, and you and I are sitting here on the Facebooks.
I'm telling you.
See how it works?
Is that Kim Jong-un? Has he kicked off? Is he teats up yet?
I don't know if he's teats up or not.
I heard he was like a vegetable right now.
Well,
And I'm
the
hearing
new
kimchi.
quarter. Yeah. I never liked kimchi.
Oh, I love kimchi.
Do
I
you
love
really?
cabbage. Yeah, I love anything
I
cabbage.
love me some cabbage. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, kimchi I love.
Really?
Yeah. It doesn't love me.
Backs you up a little bit.
It's like
or-
pickled eggs. But I love it. It
Oh
doesn't love me.
God, I love me a pickled egg.
Yeah, and I swear to God, it just blows me sky high. And cabbage does. But have you been to Benji's, the deli in Tustin?
I don't think I have.
You got to go.
Yeah.
When you go, get yourself. I mean, the sandwiches are amazing. I mean, they're deli sandwiches, so they're like $18 for, but they're all meat and just beautiful. But do yourself a favor, get yourself the cabbage soup.
Cabbage soup.
My God, ever since we got here, all I'm saying is I just want a bowl of Benji's cabbage soup. That's
Really?
all I want. Oh, it's like how the crab cooker's got that wonderful clam chowder,
Mm-hmm.
the Manhattan clam chowder.
Yeah.
It's that and more. Ain't kidding.
Really?
Yeah. Wouldn't lie to you.
I don't know that I've really ever had a good cabbage soup.
Oh, this will knock your eyes out.
You
and
know,
the
it's kind of.
pastrami's to die for.
Well, listen, I get pastrami. I understand why that's important and delicious.
Hey, I made a promise to
Yeah, we
Diane,
already
too.
talked about the coronavirus farts. Somebody
I made a promise in the line in the song
right.
you just playing.
Made
I
a promise to
Diane.
No, Alec was asking because I told him in my show prep that I was going to talk about bareback
Get your
farts.
show prep. I don't know who you're trying to kid. Garth Brooks song. Who's singing it? Wild Horses.
It's supposed to be
sound like
Garth
Garth.
Brooks, but it doesn't sound like Garth Brooks. It
It's
says
not
it's Garth
Garth.
Brooks in the notes. So if
I
you
don't
could, now you met Jimmy Buffett.
Yes, briefly, but I did.
Yes.
Have a picture to prove it and everything.
Right. And when Jimmy calls in, we'll talk about that chance encounter.
The chances of him remembering that.
Listen, it's you. How could he
slim to
not
none.
remember?
Well, he was driving out of Universal Amphitheater on the back lot, going about 35 miles an hour in a convertible Mercedes 450 SL. And look, you know better than anybody my voice. And when I really want to emote, I can be heard.
Does your
over a
wife ever
450
catch you
SL.
emoting?
Pardon me?
Does your
All
wife
the
ever
time.
catch you emoting?
All the time. We have it's funny thing. My minister, Bruce Templeton, who's I'm sure is not listening because he's got to get up and preach tomorrow. But we go over to their house for dinner, and he's as loud as I am, if not louder. And we're not intensely loud. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just.
I've met Bruce. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And he and I, well, this goddamn duct tape's not working. But we'd sit there watching the movie and we'd be talking to each other, or we'd just be talking. And Diane and his wife Connie would look at us and go, inside voices. We don't have inside voices.
No.
But my voice actually stopped Jimmy Buffett in a speeding Mercedes going outside the Universal Studio. This is a great song.
Have you ever met George Strait?
New. I'd love
Biggest celebrity you ever met? Go.
to. Wow. There's a few of them. Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, Hugh O'Brien, Tom Selleck, Ernest Borgnine.
Old Ernie.
Ernie was great. I met a lot. But in my eyes, the biggest was Roy Rogers because I grew up watching Roy. The one that I really got a big kick out of was meeting Tom Selleck.
Is he good looking in person? Do you look at him and
Oh
go,
my God!
that's a good
If I was
looking
going to
man?
go gay, I'd go for him.
Would
But
you? He's
yeah,
tall. He probably like you. He's a little taller than you.
He's much taller than me. But we went and saw.
Strapping.
He did a remade Monty Walsh, which was a Lee Marvin movie. And he invited and a buddy of mine from shooting. His dad actually produced the first Monty Walsh with Lee Marvin. When Selleck did it, he produced it again. So we got invited to a screening at the Warner Brothers lot. Were you?
Yeah.
And everybody was there. I mean, everybody was there. Well, I met David Carradine and Keith Carradine. I met all the Carradines, and they had this premiere there. And Selleck got up and have you ever been to a screening like that?
Yes, I've been to.
Okay,
Sure.
you've been to a few screenings. But you know how they get up there and they talk about the movie before you see it, and everybody gets up there. And then usually by halfway through the movie, when you're done, everybody just kind of walks out, and that's all there is. I got to give credit to Selleck. Selleck stood there and thanked everyone in that theater for coming. And we were all in our cowboy outfits, it was Monty Walsh, Big Western. He stood there and thanked everyone.
Excuse you.
That's class. He's a classy guy. He's a very nice man, and it was an honor to meet him. He was the biggest one you ever met.
Well, there's a couple. I met Mel Gibson. Mel, feel free to call in. We'd love to interview you. I met Ginger Lynn, probably the biggest star I
Porn
ever
star.
met. Yeah. I was working at the Sony lot, and one of the guys I worked with, he goes, "Hey, I'm dating Ginger Lynn." Bullshit. No, you're not. He goes, "Yeah." You need another strip of duct tape.
That's where I was going. Just keep talking.
Why don't you just keep it next to you? So anyway, my buddy says to me, I'm dating Ginger Lynn. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, if you're dating Ginger Lynn, I
missed part of that story. So go ahead.
No, I was stalling while you were getting the duct tape.
So go ahead.
So I said, you're not dating Ginger Lynn. I said, if you're dating Ginger Lynn, I need an autographed picture of Ginger Lynn. And son of a bitch shows up next day, autographed headshot of Ginger Lynn. And I still have it. Oh! Yeah. Yeah. Y'all just sit with that for a minute. Carol,
that was funny.
Carol Crouch says Tom Selleck is her dream man. So Brian, you're out.
Carol is one of the sweet. Her and her husband Greg are two of the sweetest people you could ever possibly want to meet in your entire life.
But they don't have an autographed headshot of Ginger Lynn.
No, they do not, and nor would they want. They are two of the sweetest, most adorable people I've ever met. And I love you guys. Miss you guys.
Yeah.
Good luck to the Cowboys.
And then
do me proud.
So Carol says Tom Selleck's her dream. Ernie was a great guy. Sorry.
I'll tell you the funniest thing. I ran. Diane's dad kind of looks a little bit like Ernie.
You told me I looked like Ernie at one point, Art.
No, I never said that. You don't look like Ernie. No. You look more like. You remember McHale's Navy?
Mm-hmm.
You're more Binghamton. You're more like
Binghamton.
Lead
Wow.
Yeah.
Lead bottom.
Yeah. Or Gruber.
Gruber. Wow.
Gruber.
Really?
No. No. I always said there was somebody you always reminded me of. I can't remember who the hell it was now.
All right. My greatest claim to fame, closest I ever came to being a celebrity story.
Yeah.
The night before my wedding. And we're at the Red Onion after the rehearsal dinner. And you wouldn't know it by looking at me today, but back in the day when I put on my Stetson or my Resistol and my Wranglers and a Mo Better shirt.
You're a good-looking guy. Good-looking guy, no getting around it.
I could take off on Garth Brooks a little bit back in the day. And
if it was really, really dark.
Yeah, in the right
and if Max was about 30 feet away from you and he had his head down, you were a dead rare.
Dudes on deck. That's all I have to say. So we're at the Red Onion in Santa Ana, and the girls all leave to go.
The Red Onion.
The Red Onion. The girls all leave to go get ready for the wedding the next day because there's a wedding tomorrow. And me and my groomsmen party decide to hang out and have a couple more drinks at the Spread Onion. And
the Spread Onion, that's right.
The girl comes up to Brian and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Hey, is that Garth Brooks?" And Brian turns, looks at me, looks at her, and says, "Why, yes, it is. And I can get you his autograph." And brings this girl over to me, and she says, "Mr. Brooks?" And I said, "Yes. What can I do for you?" She goes, "Could I have your autograph?" I said, "Well, hell yeah, you can." And I autographed a Spread Onion napkin.
Menu. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was a menu. You're right. To whatever
I was there.
To whatever that little girl's name was.
Dumb...
She's probably still got it up on her wall somewhere. And
well, she can find it with her cane.
Yeah, well, with a No, she was a younger girl. No, shut your mouth. She was a younger girl. She's probably got some husband right now, doesn't give a shit about her, and she's got my autograph as Garth Brooks up on a wall, and she pines for Garth, a.k.a. me, every night, thinking, man, if I had only married Garth.
If I'd only given those nachos with the extra cheese, I could have been Mrs. Garth Brooks.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I love Garth. You know what? And I love Trisha Yearwood. I think Trisha Yearwood is wonderful. Have you seen Trisha? I mean, I'm not one to talk, but wow, that's one big girl.
Well, listen, she likes the cooking, and did we just totally screw ourselves out of Garth Brooks ever calling the show?
No, I love them both, but Trisha, honey, it's not healthy.
Trish, and listen, Garth likes to eat, and Trisha likes to cook, so they're a perfect match.
Well, and I like to eat, and I like to cook, and I like to do all that too. But Jesus, I like to smoke, but every now and then I take the cigarette out of my mouth.
God, yeah. Listen, Garth, I don't share Brian's opinion.
No, I mean, I love them both. I mean, I think they're great. I saw her on. Did you see the thing they did on during the quarantine thing, the little concert thing they did?
No, together? I've missed a lot of that stuff.
It was really good. I mean, it was really
I've been doing show prep.
But holy moly. And you know who had the coronavirus and got over it? Does the name Ray
Tom
Benson
Hanks.
mean anything to you at all?
Oh, Ray Benson. Tom Hanks had that too.
Well, Ray Benson's
Asleep at the Wheel.
Not
How
exactly.
great is Asleep at the Wheel?
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I saw them at the Crazy Horse.
That's the only place I ever saw them, and I love me some Asleep at the Wheel.
I do too. Probably the best Western swing band since Bob Wills.
Oh, those guys just.
Yeah.
Man.
Outside of Haggard, when he did a tribute to, I'm looking at a picture on the TV now of Haggard when he was like 13 years old.
Really?
I mean, you had that, on the cable TV, you have that music choice thing where you can just let music play. So I've got it on Classic Country, which is the only thing I'll listen to on that. And they keep showing these pictures of these country stars when they were, Buck Owens looked like he's 12. But it's, I can't listen to this stuff they're playing on the radio these days.
No, I was going to do a new
Chris
music.
Stapleton.
Yeah, I was going to do a new music thing. And you didn't know any of the songs. Twin fiddles and steel guitar.
Where's that gal with the red
Girl
dress
with the red
on?
dress
Some
on,
folks call her
some folks call her
Dinah.
Dinah.
Stole my heart away from me way down Louisiana. Take me back to Tulsa. I'm too young to marry. Take me back to Tulsa. I'm too young to marry. Little bee sucker blossom wild. Big bee get the honey. Black man raise cotton. White folks take the money. Take me back to Tulsa.
How great is that sound?
Young to marry. That's music.
If you haven't treated yourself to some Asleep at the Wheel, do yourself a favor.
Or Bob Wills, and going back to the original music. The original music was amazing. Merle Haggard, if you can find it on YouTube, does a version of this song. And there's a lyric. What was it?
Would I like to go to Tulsa? You bet your boots.
But I wish I would. Take me down to Archer. I'll walk down to Greenwood. My girl around the outhouse, I ran around to meet her. She lifted up her petticoats, and I left off to Tulsa. Thought that was only Haggard.
Yeah. Well, my brother, we're coming up on 2 hours. I'm pretty sure it's just you and me at this point.
Well, call me when this is done.
I will, and
if you want to talk.
I can't wait for you to watch this back and listen to the Dick Sporting Goods story for the second week in a row.
Well, get ready for it. It's happening again.
And wait till you see my sombrero. You're going to be like, damn it, that guy nailed it.
Oh, you always do. But if you want to spend like 5 minutes talking off the line, then give me a shout.
Yeah, I'll catch up to you in a minute. And folks, I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in gave us a couple minutes of their Saturday night. Appreciate you very much. I'd like to thank Timeless Pints, the Waterfront Hilton in Huntington Beach,
Bonnie Blue Barbecue, Dodge Trucks.
I'd like to thank Jameson Whiskey.
Jordan Bullet Bourbon.
And I'm sorry we ran out of time for Jimmy Buffett tonight. Jimmy, maybe next week we'll be able to squeeze you in.
Well, let's see if we can get Gene Moore on, maybe.
I would love to have Gene Merle call in. Anyway, much love to everybody out there. Thank you for giving us a couple hours on your Saturday night. And
D-Rail, Diamond Hustler, love you. Thanks for sticking around with us.
Stay safe, stay healthy, quit licking strange things, keep your tongue in your mouth.
God bless you. And God bless America.
God bless America, and God bless you, my brother.
Love you.
Love you, and we will catch you later. And that is it for Max and Bryan. Cheers, everybody. One last salute, my brother.
Adios, amigos. See you down the trail. Burns.